get interrupted. So there we go. Okay, come to a comfortable seat for a moment. We're not going to do the majority of our movement sitting. We'll actually do more of it standing today. But let's center for a few moments. And as you find your comfortable seat, take that time to adjust and shift your seat so that it is comfortable. So sit up higher, or prop your knees up, or sit in a chair. So many different ways that you can make it comfortable for yourself. And that's the idea, to help your energy to start to be able to flow really well and not to be holding tight somewhere in the body. So as you allow your pelvis to tilt a little forward, your belly gets to tilt a little bit forward. Think of lengthening from hip to armpit, and then drawing shoulder blades onto your back. Let your eyes close and begin to take a moment with your breath to tune into being present in this place, in this space. Tune into being present with what is in your body and in your mind. Maybe you have a lot of mental chatter this morning. Even make note of that. Begin to draw some attention to your breath, watching it move. And observe your breath moving as you inhale from crown to tail, and as you exhale from tail to crown. Might seem a little counterintuitive, but it's a little bit more of how the diaphragm actually works. So inhale, crown to tail. Exhale, tail to crown. And even more detail there, inhale down the front, crown to tail. Exhale up the back, tail to crown. And take this a couple more times, just observing your breath moving. Bringing hands to connect at heart center, gently press your palms together and lift your shoulders up and back. Take a full inhale here, getting even longer through your spine. And exhale, bow towards your heart, honoring yourself for taking this time this morning. And now keeping your chin tucked down, release your hands down. You can open your eyes here if you would like to. Give a little shake of your head no toward the ground. Starting that neck movement where your neck connects to your shoulders and your upper back. And then lift your chin up toward the ceiling. Keep your shoulder blades engaging onto your back. Your neck is long. And then gentle shake of your head no here. Now focusing on that connection of your neck to your chest, the front of your shoulders. And then back in the center, take right ear over to your right shoulder. Move your left shoulder blade onto your back. Exhale, chin into your chest. Inhale, left your left shoulder. Right shoulder blade re-engages. And keep moving this way with your breath for a couple more times on each side. Each time your head comes to one side, you're moving the opposite shoulder blade onto your back. And then after those couple more times on each side, find your chin tucked down again toward the ground, re-engage your shoulder blades, and give little nods here. Then back up to center, switch the cross of your legs, and just a couple more neck movements here before we stand up. So make it comfortable, shift and move your sitting bones. And now as you take your right ear over to your right shoulder, hold on to the side of your head if it's comfortable with your right hand. If it's not, you can do this without holding on to your head. Now, we're moving the side of our neck out to the left. So as you lean your neck out to the left a little bit, take a full breath and send your breath into your neck. See if you can feel more expansion and contraction there. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Take a hold of the side of your head with your left hand if that's comfortable. And then right neck muscles move out to the right side. So lean your neck out to the right. Full big breath. Good, back into center now. Turn your head to the right side and tuck your chin down. And holding on to the back of your head here with your right hand again, move your left shoulder blade onto your back and take gratitude with your left arm. Re-rotate your upper arm bone here to move more open through the front part of the chest. Feel the shoulder blade engage on the left side. Then inhale back up to center and exhale over to the left side. Tuck your chin down. Take a hold of the back of your head with your left hand. Re-engage the right shoulder blade and then find gratitude with your right. Elbow hugs in. Rotate with your arm so your thumb is moving toward the wall behind you. One more big breath. And then back into center. Now we're going to come up to standing. And as we come up to standing, we're setting ourselves up. It can be wide with feet, a little wider than hips, or narrow with feet, about inner hip distance. Find the stance that's most comfortable for you. And we're going to start to move a little bit through some forward folding half salutation. I want you to think about the fact that this might be the first movement you're making today, so knees considerably bent through it, okay? So now turn your palms forward and reach through fingertips. Lift up and open through the shoulders, expanding through the front, mountain pose here. Close your eyes for just a couple breaths. Deep inhale and exhale in and out of the nose. Now on your next inhale, stretch up overhead. You can open your eyes. Exhale, considerable bend to your knees as you fold over your legs. You might find blocks for your hands or might bring hands to your knees. Inhale, lengthen part way with hands up above your knees, send your sitting bones up. Exhale, fold as deeply as your body is ready for. Hands to hips, press back on hips. Lift shoulders and elbows toward the ceiling first and then rise all the way up to stand. So you come up nice and open through the chest. Turn your palms, mountain pose here. Take a full breath, eyes open or closed, your choice. Inhale, stretch up overhead, bent knees. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale, fold. Inhale this time, knees bent, squeeze your glutes, reach your arms, lift shoulders and rise. All the way up to stand, hands meet at the top if that's comfortable, or stay wide, your choice. Take a moment here to do a little side to side movement. Little side stretching. And then as you come back into center on your exhale, bent knees, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way, and exhale to fold. Plant fingertips, you're stepping right foot back into your lunge. Take a big deep breath right here. Center with your hips, left hip is moving back in space. Grow even longer through your spine. Deep breath. Inhale, step forward, and exhale, step your left foot back into your lunge. And again, wrap the left hip back. Grow longer through your sides and through your spine. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, right foot steps back. Right knee comes down to the ground, and then you're setting your right hand on a block, on the floor. Find the edge of your mat, and then turn your belly and your heart toward the left side. Put shoulder blades on your back. If your top shoulder is opening considerably, maybe stretch the top arm up. If that doesn't feel good, keep your hand at your hip or at your knee. That's okay too. Take a big, deep breath. And now this time, planting both hands, step back to hands and knees or downward facing dog pose, whichever feels the best in your body. Take a full deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, come forward into your plank. Knees on the ground if you want. That's always an option here. Rotate elbow pits forward and push, expanding into the upper back. And then move your front ribs forward, your collarbones forward, but stay toned to the belly and the ribs, not letting them sink down. We have 3 more breaths here. And now knees down, hips to heels, take a child's pose. Opportunity here to either take knees wide to make space for your belly or narrow to provide a little compression for your gut. That compression is a really nice way to aid in digestion. Excuse me. So now walk your hands over to the right side and take a big breath. And over to the left side and take a big breath. And then back into center, rise to hands and knees. And then your choice. We're gonna step forward before we take the second side. So you can do that from hands and knees, or you can lift your hips up and back for down dog, and then step forward. Find your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale, fold over your legs. And then from here, knees considerably bent, you can reach your hands to the back side of your calves here. You can hold on to opposite elbows and let your head hang. You can just release your arms completely down or clasp behind the back side of your head and take a moment to sway a little. And then release fingertips to the floor or your blocks and step your left foot back into your lunge. And we're pausing here to center with our hips. Extend your heart forward, take a full breath. And now back knee comes to the ground. We're setting left hand on the floor or your block, whichever feels the best. Right hand to your knee as you take this twist to the right side. Shoulder blades are engaging. Take a deep breath. And if your top shoulder is opening, maybe stretch your top arm up. Maybe keep it at your knee or your hip. Exhaling, both hands come down to the ground and settle back again into your plank pose. So from your plank, again, knees are always an option. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Again, extend your front. As you do that, oftentimes the belly sinks down. So engage the belly. Think of moving your ribs up into your back body. Take a full, big, deep breath. And then hips back to heels. Take a child's pose. Notice how your body's feeling. Let your head settle. Maybe take a different variation of child's pose than you did on the first side. Then inhale, rise to hands and knees. Again, rotate elbow pits forward and push, finding that expansion into the upper back. And then lift hips up and back, downward facing dog pose. Full big deep breath. And now walking your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold over your legs. Hands to hips. Press back on hips. Start to lift shoulders up and back, elbows up and rise. And as you come up to stand, we're going to take a little balance. And we're going to do a little bit of movement in and out of a couple of poses. So first, let's bring our right knee up toward our chest, hands to our hips. And if you find it's easier and just better for your body to hold on to it, you can, or you can hold on to a wall at your side, okay? All of that's an option. Upright with your torso, wrap your hip down, and then we're gonna go forward with our heels. Stay lifted through your torso as you push your heel forward. Inhale, heel draws in, and now exhale, heel reaches back, hips level with the ground. Inhale, draw your knee back in, and exhale, press your heel forward. Inhale, heel draws in, and exhale, heel draws back. One more time, inhale, knee lifts, extend your heel. Inhale, heel draws in. Exhale, press your heel back. Inhale, back in the center, lift your knee, lift your chest, and then set your foot down. And then give it a shake. Just notice for yourself what sensations came up from that. And remember, you can always have a wall by your side to do this movement, okay? It's always an option. Find your balance onto your right foot. Lift your left knee in toward your chest and wrap your hip down. So your hips are a little bit more level that way. Chest lifts. Exhale, press your heel forward. Inhale, draw your heel in. Exhale, press it back. Warrior three, hips level. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, heel presses. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale back in the center. Lift your knee, lift your chest, and then with control, set your foot back down. Feet inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and root them. Turn your palms forward. Take a moment to close your eyes and feel what's present. Whatever sensations showed up through that movement, or whatever thoughts came up, notice. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bent knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way, long spine. Exhale and fold. Plant fingertips, stepping right foot back into your lunge. We're gonna take this twist again. So bring your back knee down, but this time we're gonna take it into a quad stretch. So right hand can be on a block or on the floor. Left hand to your knee, and before you try to reach back for your foot, which is optional, bend your back knee. Push your knee down and even think of dragging it a little bit forward. This helps to keep your hip a little elevated. So as you turn your belly and your heart to the left side, shoulder blades on your back, might stay right here with your knee bent and pressing. You might reach back for your heel or your foot with your left hand. All optional. Take a big deep breath. Think more about being able to lengthen your spine than trying to take your foot. One more big breath. Push with your bottom hand. And gently release your foot if you're holding it. Settle back onto hands and knees. And then last child's pose of your practice, hips to heels. And as you take a couple big breaths now, little shifting and moving with your hips. Check it out and notice what's present in your body for you. And then inhale back to your hands and knees. And now we're going to switch sides from hands and knees. So step left or right foot forward, rather, in between your hands. Work your back knee back as far as you need. And then your choice. hand on the floor or on a block here. And it helps if you take your hand out a little ways as opposed to it being close to your foot. So take it out toward the edge of your mat, maybe even off of it a little bit. And then bend your back knee and push down with it and think about drawing it forward. A little isometric action there. Turn your belly, turn your heart, and then you decide. Maybe you reach back for your foot, maybe you don't. Maybe that's just not in the cards today. That's okay. Take a big deep breath wherever it is. Put both shoulder blades on your back. Extend longer through your spine. Big breath. Good, and then gently release your foot, release both hands, and settle back onto your seat. And come all the way down to sitting bones, legs out in front. And now we'll go with a little bit more hip opening. So move your sitting bones. And if when sitting up, your spine tends to press back a little bit here, then sit up on a blanket. But we're gonna pick up our right foot and our right knee. And that might be holding onto your foot with your left hand and using your fingers behind you to help you sit. And that's okay. You don't have to have both hands on your leg, especially if that means you collapse back into your back body. So long spine, belly moves forward, and then do a little bit of rocking side to side. And then go ahead and set right leg down and switch legs. Right leg becomes your base. Pick your left leg up. And again, left hand can always be behind you to help you sit tall here. You can still rock, even if you're using your hand for support. Again, long spine, take a full big breath. And then set both feet on the ground. And then we're gonna lay all the way down onto our backs. And from your back, make sure that you can reach all of your props. And set footprints on the ground. And from this place, walk your feet in towards your sitting bones. I never like to say, reach out with your fingertips to touch the backs of your heels. That's commonly given as an instruction in classes. I have short arms, I can't reach my heels. So walk your feet in, maybe you can reach them, maybe you can't, but think of shins coming straight up and down, which is hard to tell from this position. So now, feet press down, think of heels and toes pushing down, and then tilt your pelvis so your sitting bones are moving down. And from that place, elbows bend and press your elbows into the ground, fingertips toward the ceiling. Walk your shoulder blades toward each other. And now, as you inhale and lift your hips, notice that your knees like to splay apart. So we're going to draw them in toward each other and reach forward. And as you reach forward, you might feel your hips lift a little bit more. Walk shoulder blades a little closer together. Press down with the back of your head. Think of letting your neck have a little lift to it. Exhale, lower hips down, and then draw knees in toward your chest and rock side to side. And now set feet. We're going to take bridge one more time. And if it's just better for your body now to put a block underneath your hips and take a restorative version, please do. That might just be what's best for you today. Otherwise, feet walk in and then root down with feet. Tilt your pelvis so sitting bones are moving down. Now, before you lift up, engage the low glutes, engage the ribs, then lift your hips. Now, walk shoulder blades more toward each other, reach through your thighs, press your head down gently, take a big breath. Exhale, slowly lower hips. Knees draw in, and they can be wide here if that's more comfortable. Rock side to side. And now footprints to the floor, walk your feet out wider than your mat, and then take those gentle movements of legs side to side. Both knees to one side, Both knees to the other side. Gentle windshield wipers. Feel free to add a reach of your arms overhead here if you'd like to add that little extra length. And now, very last core exercise, we're gonna lift our legs to 90 degrees. And with this, you can put a block in between your legs if you'd like to add a little squeeze. But now notice your pelvis and tilt. Sitting bones down, so you might feel a little lift through the low back. Same thing we just did in bridge pose, elbows press down here, and then root down with your ribs into the ground, but you're keeping that lumbar curve. Now, hands come to your thighs. Squeeze the thighs towards your block or your imaginary block and push. Push your thighs away from you, but resist. Don't let them move. And tone low belly and ribs to support this. Full big deep breath. Three more breaths as you push. Keep engaging the low belly and the low ribs. And then release that push, release the block. And you can take, again, those windshield wipers, or if you want to, you can bring knees in and rock one more time. And now we're supporting the back body as we come to rest. So if it would help to have a bolster or pillow underneath your legs, please do. Or you can take soles of feet together into a butterfly with blocks supporting your thighs. But start to make your way into a really comfortable resting pose. A pose that would help you settle and digest the work you've done this morning. Bringing awareness back to your breath. And add gentle movement into fingers and into toes. And as you're ready to, bend your knees and roll over to your side. And from your side, very gently, press yourself back up to your seat using as little energy as possible. With hands coming together at heart center, take a moment for a full breath. Have a very peaceful and beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.